talked before, but I'm gonna share our names and who we are a little bit. So if you will go around and just say your name, Stephen, and then I'll go, and then Josh will go to you. Is that okay?
Yeah. So my name is Stephen Godfrey, and I am the four-year program manager at Booth Brown House. So Booth Brown House as a whole program has two smaller programs in our building. We've got an overnight emergency shelter program for young adults that are between the ages of 18 and 22. And that's overnight only. So that's really just a safe place to sleep. They get a hot meal, breakfast in the morning, and then it closes during the day. So that's our shelter program. Excuse me. We also have our four-year housing program. And that's the program that Josh is living in. And the four-year housing program is 35 apartments. Some of those apartments are time-sensitive apartments. So residents only have a certain amount of time to live in the space. And then other apartments are not time sensitive, so the resident has more choice on when they leave. So again, there's 35 apartments. And so my role as the program manager is to support the team that's working there, to make sure that it's a comfortable space to live in, to make sure that residents' needs are getting met if they have concerns, that we're addressing those concerns, and that we as a program are creating engaging spaces for our residents to feel welcome, to learn, to teach, to laugh, to cry, to do all those things. As part of my space, or part of my role is to make those spaces physical spaces as well as just conversations that we can as a program and as a community just foster just who we are as people. So that's a little bit about my role. Josh, feel free to talk a little bit about who you are and your experience in the four-year as well.
Yes, my name is Joshua, and as Stephen just said, I'm a resident here at Booth Brown House. Uh, Great place all around with a great community. It's a beautiful place to live in, and I lived here for about 6 years now, and throughout the years I lived here, Blue Brown House has changed a lot of times and in a good way. So they kept improving, and I really like what Blue Brown House has done to me, done to the community, and done to the residents here.
I love it. Do you mind? I'm going to jump in and be very deliberate here. Josh, do you go by Joshua or Josh?
Either way, it's fine.
What, do you prefer either one?
Joshua.
Okay, love it. Okay, Joshua it is. Okay, cool. Again, thanks for doing this. So I sent some questions your way, and you talked about Booth Brown, but before we start talking about Booth Brown, from what I understand, at least what Stephen has shared with me, one of the things you're most passionate about is music. Is that right? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Why are you passionate? What do you like to do? What have you done? What do you want to do?
Growing up, I've always loved music. You know, my favorite singers who inspire me are like people like Frank Sinatra, um, Dean,
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin, yes, sorry, Johnny Cash, um, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. Um, Listening to all those wonderful artists, as you could tell, I'm an old soul, and I love listening to old songs. Um, when I was young, I first learned how to play the keyboard, and that was when I was like, I would have to say 13 years old, and then I really got started into music when I was like playing acoustic guitar. And I first learned how to play the acoustic guitar in I'm gonna have to say 2013 because that's when I first got my guitar lesson there. Um, and What I like doing about the music is I'm a very creative person. Therefore, I like to write my lyrics down, I've been writing lyrics since I was a young boy. Uh, pardon. And you know, although I've never really like been trained professionally in music, I can learn chords just by playing by ear. So and right now I've I've already created two songs, two original songs. One is called Bully and one is called Be Okay, Be Alright. And those two songs came from life experiences, you know. For Bully, I've been bullied throughout school to like even work too. And I guess it's because you know from K to 12 I've been in special ed,
Mhm.
and that was kind of hard on me, but at the same time I kind of liked it because I met some really genuine nice people there
Yeah.
in special ed. Until one day I finally had enough. One day I decided to say, you know what, I'm not gonna let any more bullies bully me around anymore. So I'm gonna use my creative writing skills uh, to write a song, and that song literally I wrote it in 15 minutes
That's
in
awesome.
just one night. Um,
I listened to
uh,
it. It's pretty good.
Thank you,
Yeah, Steven
thank you,
shared the YouTube link with me.
thanks,
Thank you.
and I hope that my song can someday inspire people to stand up to bullies, and it will help heal those bully victims. Because it's not cool to bully. And, bullying is never a good experience. Um, as for my second song, "Be Okay, Be Alright," that one talks about like it's more like about healing factor. Basically, you're telling yourself like um, you're basically having more self confidence. Like
Yeah.
nothing can knock you down. The bullies that hurted you, you didn't break. You stood strong.
Awesome.
Um, and for my third one, that's coming up next month.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you mind if is your second song "Be Okay, Be Alright"? Do you have that on YouTube as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll check that out then, because I assume it's on the same channel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out. No, I appreciate you sharing that. I didn't know about that one, but yeah, it's easy to it's easy to let, depending on your circumstances or what you've been told, it's easy to let kind of that negative talk infiltrate how you think about yourself,
Right.
and that's no good. It's you have those bad thoughts about yourself. I think sometimes uh, we need to see our own true worth and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and not be listening to people talk down about us, or whether it's that or if it's fear or something. Any of those things, they can really drive you, but they're oftentimes not true. So it's cool that you did that.
I decided to
Eh,
turn something negative into a positive.
Love it,
You know.
man. I love it. That's really cool. Did you see the questions that I sent to you before, or that I sent Steven before this?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna kind of jump in with a few more questions, but if you have any questions for me, just shout them out, and we're good to go.
All right.
You talked a little bit about your background, your schooling. You talked a little bit about your background with when you started to make music and stuff like that. Can you tell me about, because you've been at Booth Brown for about 6 years, is that right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your life before Booth Brown? What was it like? And even how did you find yourself, coming to Booth Brown, or why did you show up, and things like that?
Well, you see, my mom, my mom and I, we were always jumping from place to place, and we could never find a permanent housing. solution. And one time it got so bad we were living in hotels, or well, kind of like Sunny Days Inn. You know that?
Yeah.
Do you know that motel? Yeah. So kind of like that, but and it'll just be temporary. And I was going to Job Corp at that time.
You're going to what?
I was going to Hubert H. Humphrey Job Corp Center.
Yep.
And over there, I was starting to become a nursing assistant, which I'm currently am right now. But every time when I would visit my mom and my family, I noticed that things will always get worse than better because of financial troubles. Therefore, having trouble to find a permanent house.
Mhm.
I've heard of Blue Brown House. I then heard of Blue Brown House from a staff member over at Job Corp Center, and she got me into Blue Brown House, and ever since then I loved it because if I wouldn't have found Blue Brown House, I would have been homeless along with my mom. And but lucky for her, she she found someone. You know, she has a boyfriend, and now she has a permanent house to live in. So I guess when I guess the saying is true, kind of. It will get worse before it gets better, and it certainly has gotten better.
Awesome.
So I'm very grateful to have experienced Bruce Brown house here.
Yeah. Can you?
And,
So, Joshua, you shared that you've been moving around place to place. We have a few questions about that. Is that in the Twin Cities?
um, Twin Cities and St. Paul, yeah.
Yeah. And how long? How long in your life? What stretch was that? Was it all of your life that you were bouncing from place to place, or from a very young age, or how long were we looking at?
I guess you could say it started from middle school,
Yeah.
when I was maybe 11 and 12.
Mhm.
And then things just started to go down spiral right there. Every time when we would live in a house, it'll only be for a couple months, at most a year. But and sometimes it would be bad, so bad that we would live in motels. Um, until some of our other family members helped us out, but of course that didn't last too long.
Yeah.
But now, she's all right. I'm all right.
That's
We're all good.
Can I ask you one more question that's not on that list of questions I sent you? But and if not, that's okay. Just say pass. That's totally okay.
Okay.
So you're in middle school and you're hopping from place to place, and that seems like it'd be stressful. Um, but in the meantime, you have school or you have friendships, and you have other things. And did any of that stress from moving from house to house or any financial stress affect you in your life in school or friendships or family or anything like that?
Well, to tell you the truth, Derek, I've never really had any friends in middle school nor high school.
Sorry.
That's all right. You know, I'm used to being friendless, but
Well, I am sorry because I think you deserve friends, man. So throw that out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
However, I did come out with at high school with one friend, and he's been we're still friends to this day for 10 years now. And next year is our high school reunion.
Love it.
So
That's awesome. That's
um, yeah.
well, I'm gonna kind of jump in, kind of address some of those other questions that I sent with you. You said things have been better now. You've been at Booth Brown for 6 years.
Yeah.
You said it's good. How has it been good at Booth Brown for you? What kind of things has being there done for you? In so many ways, you can kind of take it wherever you want, but paint me a picture of how your life has maybe improved in the last 6 years.
Uh, Being at Blue Brown House has really helped me a lot. It's helped me with my independency. It helps me get around a lot. You know, Blue Brown House is surrounded by a beautiful community. It's right next to Como Park, Como Zoo, right next to the State Fair. And you know, every year I would go to the State Fair, have a blast. I would take the bus to Rosedale Mall, to Hallmark Mall, just to hang out by myself. Yeah, Brown House. It, it also helped me it helped me learn responsibility.
Yeah.
For example, paying bills.
Yeah.
Um, and
Tell me about
I'm paying rent.
Yeah, paying rent, paying bills. How did you, well, how did you find out about what does that look like for you? And who's teaching you?
Paying rent. Yeah. My throughout all the years I lived here, I've had a lot of caseworkers, and you know they helped me with financial stability. They even helped me understand how to better control my finances, um, how to and how to just be better at it in general. Um, and paying rent is actually it's actually a great responsibility because you now it's like the saying goes, you're leaving the mother's nest and you're off on your own. At first, I was a little bit nervous, you know, because you know, of course, everyone gets homesick. But then I got used to it. You know, I've loved I love the staff here. I love the staff events here. You know, there would be like barbecues. There'd be like a Christmas party, Halloween party. And then, Steve, remember those times when we would have residential meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were great. And residential meetings, we got to discuss all our opinions about Blue Brown House, and how we could better improve Blue Brown House. And so far, Blue Brown House has done a terrific job improving. Things have changed a lot over the years.
Yeah. Gosh, you're the best. Thanks for doing this. You talked about, you know, these meetings, events, barbecues, and things like that. I think of the word community a little bit. That kind of changes from person to person. Sometimes I don't want to be a social butterfly. Sometimes I want to talk with people. But what has community looked like to you at Booth Brown House, or how has it affected you?
Community. I'm sorry. What was the first question?
what does community look like to you at Booth Brown House? Are you connected with people, some of the other residents or staff and things like that?
Somebody, right now, currently, I'm not really connected with any of the residents here. Some of the residents I was connected to, they already left. But I can tell you during those times, we will go outside, play football. We will like, just chat in the social area room. And how, as to your question, how the community has helped me is, you know, being homesick. It really kind of like affected me, but then meeting other people made me a lot better because these people were pretty cool. Um, I met a lot of cool staff members throughout my times, and also cool residents, and it really being it really helps you be more positive, like more lively, more
Right.
want to get out instead of staying inside.
Right. Gosh, that's awesome. Thanks for answering. I have
Yep.
one last question for you. Actually, I have one last question that I shared with you, and then I think I have a few teeny ones, but we'll see.
All right.
So this person that her name again, Linda and James, or Linda and Jim, they did this work on that community room. Can you share with me maybe how having a better community space could help you or maybe other residents at Booth Brown House?
I believe that community room will definitely help us residents uh, by uh, by getting together. Especially with the COVID that's happening outside right now. I'm pretty sure lots of residents here are stressed, and what better way to remove stress than to be in a community room uh, with video games and um just just talking about life and stuff, um, getting together. And I believe that could really help the residents here, um, because you never know what they're going through. And maybe just having someone to talk to would get them stress free.
I love it. Hey, thanks for saying that. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
I have one final question for you that I didn't share.
All right.
If we do share this video recording or I share any write-up that I have with Linda and Jim, do you mind if I send the link with your music?
Yes. I don't mind at all.
Okay, well, I'll plan on doing that then, and I hope that I'll encourage them to share it with the electricians that actually went to Booth Brown as well, because they put in the good work. And that's it for my questions. And I want to thank both of you, Stephen, for facilitating and working with emails and being so patient, and Joshua, for being so patient with Microsoft Teams meeting. But also, I want to give you a word of encouragement too. I don't know you that well, but Stephen shared your name, I believe, for a reason. It's because you're an awesome example of who we wish any Booth Brown resident would be like. And you're saying things have gotten better over 6 years, and you've had maybe a caseworker be helpful, give you guidance and teach you things. But
Yeah.
I also want to let you know that they can't do that unless you're working alongside them. And so
Yeah.
you've put in the work too. So I appreciate you being so kind with your words about Booth Brown, but after this conversation, you should really take a few moments to congratulate yourself and say that, you know what, yeah, these workers did a good job, but I did a good job too. So I mean that, really congratulate yourself. You talked about be okay, be all right, and encouraging yourself, not listening to maybe some talk of bullies or anything like that. You might not have as many bullies around you right now, but it doesn't mean you can't have negative self-talk. So after this conversation, I encourage you to just take a few moments and let yourself know that, yeah, you know what, I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Hey, do you have any questions or anything else?
No, not really.
Okay, cool. Joshua, thank you so much. Stephen, I really appreciate it as well. If you have, this is, I guess, Joshua, if you have any questions for me or concerns or anything, work that through Stephen. If you have both of our email addresses, you could include both of us, but always make sure to have Stephen included on it. And then Stephen, if you have any questions for me too, just reach out to me. But
I will.
Always here for any questions or answers, anything like that. So I appreciate it. Go ahead, Stephen.
I was just going to say thank you, Derek, for taking the time to have a conversation with us. And Josh, I've always appreciated your willingness to be part of the community at Booth Brown House. And this to me is an example of that. Your willingness to share your story, to have a conversation with us, and just really be part of our thank you to Linda and to Jim and to Milo Electric. I see the positive things going on. And just like Derek said, like you're part of that evolution. And just on behalf of all the staff and the other 34 residents and 16 shelter guests, like everyone, we thank you very much, Linda and Jim, for your kind contribution. We look forward to seeing you someday in person.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
So thank you, guys.
Thank you.